Welcome to the second episode of Get Informed. I am your host, Z Blessing. Did you know that the male seahorse carries the eggs during gestation and gives birth to its young ones? The Hippocampus hetagonus, known as the seahorse, grows up to the size of 75 centimeters or 30 inches with a rough skin and is always found in the deep, cold waters of Southern Hemisphere. This is off the South America, Australia, and South Africa. The seahorse has 4 genera and 15 species. They feed in all crustaceans floating in water or crawling in the bottom. How then does the male seahorse give birth? Before breeding, the seahorse may court for several days to scientifically synchronize the animal's movement and reproductive states. This is to ensure that the male can be ready to receive the eggs when the female is ready to deposit them. During this time, they change color, they swim and dance in unison, which is referred to as the pre-dawn dance. True courtship dance lasts about 8 hours, and the male pumps water through the pouch to show emptiness. When the female eggs are ready for deposit, they drift up in a spiral out of the seagrass. They swim up while holding their tails or snout to snout. Interestingly, they interact for about 6 minutes, and the female will swim away until early the next morning as the male goes to suck food through the snout. The female then deposits dozens of thousands of eggs through an ovipositor into the male's brood pouch. Her body slims while the male's body swells. They both sink into the seagrass. During fertilization in Hippocampus cuda, the hyperosmotic environment facilitates sperm activation and motility as the seawater enters the pouch in 6 seconds before closing after deposition. The spermatozoa and the eggs meet in seawater milia. This protected fertilization is therefore regarded as physiologically external within a physical internal environment. The fertilized eggs are then embedded in the pouch wall and surrounded by a spongy tissue. The male ensures that the egg get enough prolactin as the pouch provides oxygen as well as controlled incubation. The seahorse secretes energy-rich lipids into the pouch to help the developing embryo to build their skeletal system. The male brood pouch offers protection, osmoregulation, gaseous exchange, and waste transport. The eggs then hatch in the pouch where the salinity of the water is regulated as the newborn get prepared for life in the sea. This gestation period requires 2 to 4 weeks as the female meets him every morning. When the fry are ready to be born, the male expels them with a muscular construction. The young released by the male seahorse on average is 100 to 1,000 for most species, as low as 5 for small species and 2,500 for other species. The male typically gives birth at night and ready for the next batch of eggs in the morning. Less than 0.5% of these infants survive to adulthood due to exposure to predators, ocean currents washing them to feeding grounds, and exposure to extreme temperatures to their delicate body. The seahorse abandons them immediately after birth, just like many fish. The seahorse undergo protected gestation unlike other fish that abandon their eggs. This is why many seahorse infants than fish survive and the litters are big. This makes the seahorse a special animal as the father plays a huge role in gestation than the females. Hippocampus hetagonus, the seahorse, breaks the record of the male giving birth. And if you didn't know, now you know. Meet me in the next episode of Get Informed, and make sure you subscribe and like and share our videos on YouTube. I am your host, Z Blessing.